Anthony here with Prairieburn Canine Academy BC Division. So I got Mr. Koda with me here. There we go. He's a board and train that moved in with me. He's had a little bit of dog reactivity issues. So we're going to help this guy out. He's with me for 2 weeks and it's been almost a week now. What we're going to do today is work on e-collar with him. This is going to be his first session. So this is all just about getting him knowing what the sensation is and what the sensation means and what I want from it. So I'm going to show you how I condition a dog to the e-collar. So let's get going. So first I want to make sure that he's relatively calm before I even start finding what his point of perception is. And then we work from there. So I'm going to start at 0 and we kind of work our way up. Let me actually just move him kind of in frame a little bit. There we go. There we go. Now we'll see if we can work down from there. A little too distracted with the snow, and I might have it just a smidge too loose. So let me double check that there. Make sure it's making good contact. Good. There we go. Awesome. Come on. Good. Come on. Good man. Here you go. Come on. Good man. He's a good boy. That's a good boy. Awesome. So I'm pairing this the stim with some leash pressure and a command. So I'm putting a bunch of pieces in the puzzle for him that he already knows and pairing that with the stim, which is new. Good man. Come on. Good man. That's a good man. Koda. Good boy. Good boy. Good man. Koda, come on. Good man. Sit. Oh, good job, buddy. You quick study, hey? Oh, that feel good. Is that the spot? All right. Koda, come on. Good man. Come on. Good job, buddy. Sit down. There you go. Good man. Hey, free. Now let him sniff around a little bit, have some snow, take a little break, give him a little rest, and then we do it again. Come on. Good boy. There you go, bud. Good man. Hey, sit up. Did that snow go down the wrong pipe? Hmm? Did that snow go down the wrong pipe? Hmm? There you go. I don't know if you caught him wheezing there a little bit. I think the snow went down the wrong pipe a little. Koda, come on. Good man. Come on. Good. And we're working at pretty low levels. We're at 10 right now. Come on. Good man. Come on. Good boy. There you go. There you go, buddy. And this is fairly typical. Usually the first couple sessions, the dogs are usually between somewhere about a 5 and a 20. I'd say the average is probably about 10 to 15, but yeah, usually somewhere between 5 and 20. Every dog's a little different. Some go a little higher, and some go even a little lower. I've had dogs as low as 2 and 3 feel it, but that's not very common, especially in the beginning, because it's something new, it's something foreign. They're a little confused, which is why we can make such a good impact. A little bit of positive confusion going on. Okay. So we can use that to our advantage and make it extra happy because it's something new, something totally foreign. Okay. I know some people get a little scared with the e-collars, and his owners were, they trusted that, they trusted me in wanting to get the e-collar done, and that it was really fair for him and really it'll be really awesome for them. But they were still a little unsure, so that's why I'm filming the whole process too, just so they can see it real time. The first session. That's why I like to post a lot of these first time e-collar training sessions, because you'll see that every dog's a little bit different, but it's no big deal, right? It's not the myth you see online about shock collars. Granted, there is unfair devices out there, and you need some training with it, just like anything else. Just like any other tool, like slip lead, like I use a lot of, a halty, even a harness, flat buckle collars. You gotta teach the tool too, right? So it all comes down to teaching the tool, teaching it in a positive way, and letting your dog take some time with it. Come on, good man. Come on, good boy. Come on. Good. So that second last round that he did there, he was doing a little bit more of a shake, so now he's starting to really feel a little bit more. Nothing intense, but I'm able to now work my numbers down. So that last round was an 8, and I'll probably be able to work down from there too in quiet settings like this. And then as he gets better at it and more conditioned to it and understanding it, the numbers are going to be a lot more consistent. But the first couple times I take him around a lot of distractions, the numbers are probably going to go a little bit higher because his state of mind is a bit elevated. So I always use the analogy of this is kind of the library where I can whisper and you can hear it. Hopefully you've heard that, where you can whisper in a library and you'll be able to hear somebody else. Because it's a very quiet place. And then when you get into really a lot of excitement for these guys, like in the bush where there's lots of dogs, and I'm about to hike my daycare crew, when we get out there, that's leaning a bit more towards the rock concert, where if you're in the middle of a mosh pit at a rock concert, you're not going to be able to whisper to your friend and they're going to be able to hear it. You're going to have to talk a little louder, and you probably won't even be able to talk loud enough and yell loud enough for a friend to be able to hear you. You'll probably need to give them a good little nudge because talking isn't enough. And then there's any scenario in between, right? So even if I had another couple dogs out here right now, even if they were doing their own business, there'd be a little bit more stimulation going on. So then the number would go up a little bit accordingly to where his state of mind is at. Hopefully that makes sense. Good man. There you go, buddy. There you go. Come on. Good job, bud. Good. So there I worked it down again a little bit. So now we're at a 6. There we go. And we might even be able to work it down a little bit more. We'll see how it goes. Koda, come on. Good man. Come on. Yeah, bud. Sit. Good. So there, I just paired the e-collar stim with a different command, the sit. He knows that too. So what I'm going to do is dial down again to like a 5, just so you can see that. Good man, sit. Good job, buddy. Proud of you, kiddo. Okay. It's gonna be so awesome for you. Gonna be able to get off leash, go on some nice hikes with your owners. Okay. Okay. And they're gonna be more confident with you off leash, okay? Which means lots more fun for you. Koda, come on. Good boy. Come on. And that's why I love the e-collar so much. It just allows for so much freedom for the dog and for the owners without being stressed out if your dog is going to come back or charge another dog, charge another person, if they're going to take off after a deer, especially living in the Okanagan here. And in Kelowna, come in. Hey, sit down. Good boy. There's a lot of wildlife, right? So if he's got any sort of drive to chase animals, this is going to keep him safe, right? His owners are going to be able to recall him and say, hey, never mind, leave the deer alone. No need to give him a heart attack. Or coyotes. We got a lot of coyotes around, and you don't want these guys getting called in by coyotes and not make it back. Too precious to not make it back, eh? You got some eye boogers, buddy. Hey. Come on. Good boy. So I'm going to work it down again. I've turned it down to 4. Hopefully the camera's picking that up. Good boy. And that scratching, it's because it's something new. I wasn't stimming there and I'm not stimming now, and he's still scratching. It's just because it's something new. Very similar to every so often I try and wear a watch. I'm not a watch guy, so when I do, I always start fidgeting with it, and it makes me a little uncomfortable. And it's very similar to if you've ever seen a puppy. First time you put even just a flapical collar on them, they're just scratching it like, what is this? Get this off. This is strange. I'm used to being naked. What are you putting stuff on me for? That's all that is. Come on. Boy. Come on. Come on. Good man. Come on. It's good. Sit down. Good job, kid. Yeah, and you'll see if you go through my videos, every dog is different, right? I have some dogs that start off fairly high. On average, they don't start off too high. This guy's pretty typical of what I see, where you kind of start in and around the kind of 8 to 20 mark, and then you work down a little bit from there in these quiet scenarios. But yeah, there's some that are just a bit more driven and not as sensitive and stuff like that. So that's when you got to go a little bit higher, and then there's some that are even more sensitive, where you start them off at like a 5. So yeah, every dog's different, and you just do as the dog needs. There's no set number for every dog's. Everyone has a different point of perception and different feeling, just like with people. So when I test this on people, I want to make sure that they know what it feels like as well. Everyone in the family, if it's a family, has a different point of perception, a different number when they first start feeling it, just like these guys. So it's super unique to each dog. Koda, come on. Good man. Boy, sit. Sit. Good job, kid. Me. So proud of you. Good job, kiddo. There, so Gonna let him back in the crate for a couple minutes while I get all my hiking gear ready, and then all the other dogs. Let him kind of simmer on the stove and absorb that. Absorb that. And then we'll get to hiking, and we might even possibly get him doing some long line work with the crew today. We'll kind of see how it goes. Again, he's scratching. I'm not stimming. Don't have my hand on any buttons. And then, yeah, we'll see how she goes. But yeah, hope you enjoyed that. Please like and subscribe. Comment down below if you have any questions. And yes, thanks very much for watching.